All right, people, welcome back to The Slice, and we have an so juicy matchup between Felix Auger Aliassime and Stefanos Tsitsipas. You guys know who it is. I think it's the two most exciting players in this tournament, and a lot of people wanted them to see them come through and meet in the final, and that's just what we have here. So I am super excited to get into this matchup. We have the first seed in Tsitsipas versus the third seed in Auger Aliassime. And we know what's on the table. For Felix, he's trying to get his first title. He's 0-8 right now. I didn't bring that up at all in the press. I've been in the press room all week long talking to him, talking about how he's played really well in the big moments this tournament. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to break down this matchup, and we're going to talk about how they got here, the routes they had to take. So welcome to the show. Thanks for being here, and let's get into it.
I go fair.
They're coming at you from the Delray Beach Open. Miami Open.
Down here on the ground.
This is Novak and Dominic Leandre. We are here with the man, Niels Rownett.
Welcome to the Slice.
All right. So, yeah, if you guys are new here or you haven't yet, make sure you smash the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also become a member of the channel, which helps you get bonus perks like when we do live streams. Announcement: we're doing a live stream of the match tomorrow. It's the Canadian live stream. You know how we do it. We watch Canadian matches live with you guys, and if you become a member, you get special perks like custom emojis and the ability to just get a shout out and just be like, yo, I'm supporting the Slice. So appreciate your guys' support. Make sure you subscribe as well. Probably already said that. But yeah, this matchup, I think it's the matchup of the tournament. Coming into this tournament, they both played historically well here. Felix has been in the final before. And being on opposite sides of the draw, obviously, Felix, the number 3 seed in the bottom half. I kind of saw this as like the probable final, and I know a lot of other people predicted it as well. So both guys deserve to be here. Felix has played impressively. I've watched his matches very closely. He's had to come through, Andy Murray, just a legend. That was a great match. Great solid win for him there. And then he beat Cam Norrie, the 6th seed, who was playing very well. That was a high-level, tight match, as to be expected. And then today, Felix beat Rublev, who was playing very well. And that's obviously a great matchup. And the reason why I've been so impressed with Felix this tournament is because each time that he's had to face adversity or there's been a tight time at the end of a set, he's really stepped up. He hasn't cracked. Even when there's it's not like he's been like routine with it, because he served for some sets, got broken while serving, but then instantly bounced back. His mental game, I thought, has just been fantastic. And I think that's what differentiates him from all the other 21-year-old players out there is his mental game at the moment, at least what he's been showing. So today that happened again against Rublev. He lost the first set in a tiebreaker after having 7 break points, didn't get a break, and then lost in the tiebreaker. And then was honestly losing the second set. He had to save off a bunch of break points at the beginning there, had a real tough time holding a serve. But then he finally got a break. Rublev kind of was just frustrated from, I think, not breaking. And then Felix was able to just like get a second wind and really turn it on and really outplay Rublev at the end of that match and come through, which is huge for him because Rublev is the 2nd seed, obviously. I tweeted out, I said, I think Felix's serve is the biggest differentiator in this matchup, and I think it gives him an edge. And I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of 2022, I'm just calling it now, we see Felix ahead of Rublev in the rankings. And then Felix backed it up and got the win today against him. So into the final, his 9th final on the ATP Tour. And just before we go on to Tsitsipas, there's so much talk about Felix and, he's lost all 8 of his finals. And yes, other journalists in the press room asked him about that. I wasn't going to do that because I'm like, bro, I think, he's playing well enough to win this tournament. I'm not going to talk to him about it and jinx him. But he said, yeah, I played one bad final. And he's like, I think the other finals, the guys were just better than me. He's like, he also said some things, he wasn't super defensive or anything, but he said, in the grand scheme of my, 8 finals is a lot to not have a win, but in the grand scheme of my career, that might not seem like a very big number. Love that talk from Felix, swagging out, kind of, if I make 100 finals, what's the first 8? Good point. And he's also said how in the ATP Cup just a month ago, he won the final match in the finals there, played great. And that wasn't easy to do. He had to beat RBA, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not like he hasn't performed in the big moments, but this is going to be another opportunity for him. It's also going to be a massive challenge because he's playing the number 1 seed, Stefanos Tsitsipas, who is obviously one of the best players in the world. And he beat Yuri Hecht today, who had an unbelievable breakout week. Yuri Hecht from Czechia, his first week, his first match on the ATP tour. Here's a kind of a graphic of the matchups. Yuri Hecht beat Shapovalov in the first round, Canadian, and then has made it his way through amazingly. And he played Stefanos today, and he took the first set. He took the first set by playing ultra aggressive, as Stefanos said in the press afterwards. And he said Stefanos was like a bit surprised about how aggressive he was playing. And he kind of said like that won't be able to keep up. He basically was trying to say like he felt Yuri was kind of redlining and playing too aggressive to be sustainable. And it turned out to be right, because Yuri turned it on, or Stefanos turned it on and took over when he got the break in the third set after winning a tighter second set. So Stefanos obviously like doesn't shock anyone that he's too strong for Hecht at this time, but Yuri really showed out. He's got a great game, great all-round game, can improve in different ways. Took out Musetti, Van de Zandschulp, and Shapovalov to reach the semifinal. So that's big. I think that puts him well into the top 100. Breakout week for Yuri Hecht. Now though, the matchup: Felix Auger-Aliassime versus Stefanos Tsitsipas. They've played 5 times before. Let's take a look at this. They've played 7 times before, and what it looks like is this. So they've played 7 times, 5-2 head-to-head for Stefanos. Felix won their first 2 matchups, as you can see here, in Indian Wells and London back in 2019, and then Stefanos is on a 5-match win streak. So they've had a lot of tight matches in here, as you can see, a lot of 7-6 sets, 7-5, 3-setters. So it's definitely a tight matchup, and there's things both guys can do to win. So I'm not putting anyone out of this matchup. The Tennis Live, who's a great supporter of the show, win predictor it's slightly for, if we just bring that back up here, slightly for Stefanos, but not like a crazy amount. If you see that, the 53% for Stefanos. So they're not super confident that Felix is out of it. And I think it can be a great battle, because Felix's serve has gotten better, and he said he's been one of the best servers on tour so far this year, getting a lot of free points with it, and being able to hit his forehand like an insane amount behind. That's also something Stefanos does super well, is hit his forehand after his serve, and can dictate from that. So it's going to be super interesting to see how both guys can return. The big, not maybe a big advantage, but a slight advantage is for Felix can be on the return. Stefanos can struggle returning sometimes. He's got the one-hander. If Felix can get his first serve popping to the backhand side of Stefanos, that can be an inroad for him for sure. He's got to serve well. Both guys have to serve well, but a big point to look at is the second serve returns, how much the other guy can capitalize on the second serves when they come. So I can't wait for this matchup. I'm sure you can either. We're going to be watching it live, like I said, on the Canadian Tennis live stream. So join us tomorrow at 6:30 Pacific time in North America. That's, I guess, 9:30 Eastern time in North America. And I'm going to watch that match. We're going to watch every detail of it. Predictions. It's hard to make a prediction for me, but to be honest, the way that Felix has handled himself in the big moments in this tournament, I'm maybe slightly biasly leaning towards Felix, just because I've seen he's had a bit of a tougher route to the final than Stefanos has, and he's played the tennis that he played against Medvedev in the semifinal in Australia has carried through, and with the way he's playing right now, I think he can beat anyone in this draw for sure. But Stefanos, I'm not counting him out for sure, obviously at all, but I'm just giving the slight edge to Felix, and that's who I'm predicting is going to win. Who do you guys predict? Who do you guys predict? I predict that during I don't have the clip lined up, but during the match, we're going to see some swagger from both guys. Felix has been showing that out a lot, and both guys are going to be getting pumped up. Just a great match of tennis. You can't wait. So that's the final breakdown. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who's going to win? What do you think about their comments leading into this matchup? What areas are guys going to have to focus on? It's big time though. So Rotterdam ATP 500 final matchup. Felix versus Stefanos. Who you got? I'm leaning Felix, but it's going to be a great match nonetheless. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, click like, and thank you for considering joining the channel to support our work. We'll see you guys in the morning on the Canadian live stream where we can watch the match together. Peace out, people.